And the next page has drama, music, visual arts. And the last page has physical education.
咁咧睇到咧即係唔同科目咧喺呢4版度咧就展示咗出嚟啦。
Okay. And on the flip side of each page is this.
咁每一張紙咧，每一版咧嘅背面咧，其實就有呢2個表格喺度嘅。
Yes, we recognize it's very small, you can't see it very clearly, and so we will now go into each section and really blow that up so you get a clear picture of what you will actually see.
大家睇到咧，其實啲字好細㗎，所以我咧會放大唔同嘅部分俾大家睇嘅而家。
Okay, so let's start with this area in the little red box over here.
睇到左上角咧嗰個紅色嘅框框。
What is that area? It's called Approaches to Service and Learning.
咁呢一個框框嗰個表格咧係講咧學習同埋服務同埋學習嘅方法。
And what this is we have identified 5 key areas of learning that go beyond subject.
咁咧我哋咧見到咧有5個部分咧喺呢一個表格入邊咧，咁其實係唔係淨係局限喺個學科嘅學習方面嘅。
5 key indicators that look at the student more holistically and not just through the academic lens.
咁咧呢5個項目咧，其實就唔係淨係睇佢學呢一個科目入邊學成點樣，而係即係全面一啲咧睇個學生。
And so those areas are spirit of service, their attitude and motivation, interpersonal skills and collaboration, organizational skills, and homework and assignments.
5個項目咧係服務精神啦、態度同埋動力啦，跟住人與人際嘅能力啦，同埋合作性啦，仲有一個咧係組織嘅技能啦，最後咧係功課同埋作業嘅。
And these will now receive a rating from A to D.
咧每一項咧學生咧會有 A 至到 D 唔同嘅分數。
Okay, so if you remember the old report card, I don't know. Hopefully you do. You should have got one very recently, as recently as a few months ago. But if you remember the old report card, we had an effort mark attached with each subject. This replaces that effort mark. This now gives you a lot more detail. The effort mark, you got a 3 or a 4 as an effort. It didn't really tell you that much. It said, a 4 was okay, you were putting a reasonable amount of effort, but it didn't give you enough detail about what kind of effort you were putting in, what areas you were putting them in. This hopefully makes that much clearer and actually tells you how are you doing in these key areas that actually are going to carry you well beyond just your schooling and into university and beyond that into life.
咁咧我哋以前舊嗰張成績表咧，其實有個努力分嘅。咁努力分咧就1到5，又冇好特定咁樣講1分同至到5分咧，其實有啲咩好準確嘅描述嘅。但係而家咧，我哋呢一張新嘅成績表咧，就講嘅即係有呢一個能力嘅列表啦，呢5個唔同嘅項目。同埋咧睇到咧呢啲能力咧，其實我哋可以唔單止響即係小學、幼稚園、中學嘅學習啦，即係第時做嘢啊，或者係讀大學咧，其實咧都需要有呢啲能力方面嘅發展嘅。
But it's not just about A, B, C, or D. What does A mean? What does B mean? What is a C? What's a D? If you look on the flip side of the report card, you will see this section actually describes what A, B, and C or D are for each of these things.
咁咧，我哋睇到咧，究竟嗰啲 A、B、C、D 係乜嘢嚟嘅咧？咁其實咧，每一張紙，即係我哋印成呢邊嘅紙後邊咧，我哋都寫咗究竟即係唔同嘅項目，呢5個唔同嘅項目，每一個究竟 A 係乜嘢 ，B 係乜嘢 ，C 係乜嘢 ，D 係乜嘢。
Okay, so let's take everybody's favorite one.
咁我哋揀大家最中意睇嗰個
homework and assignments.
功課同埋作業，睇下佢寫乜。
And let's sort of blow that up so you can read what's written in there and get an understanding of how that helps you understand more about homework and assignments.
咁放大咧睇下咧，究竟佢入邊咧嘅內容係點樣啦。
So homework and assignments, there are 4 categories. A is consistently, frequently, occasionally, and rarely. A, B, C, or D.
咁咧其實係嗰、個頻率方面嘅唔同嘅，你睇到咧由經常最左邊即係 A 啦，到咧好少發生 rarely 最後 D 嘅。
And because all your children are very good and would always be an A or a B, let's actually focus in on those.
咁校長話先睇下 A 同埋 B 先，因為希望大家小朋友都係成日都攞 A、B 啦。
And take a look at what that is closer.
咁咧 A、B 係乜嘢咧？
So A says consistently shows punctuality in submitting work, completes work to the best of his or her ability, seeks appropriate help as required from teachers or peers in a timely manner, and upholds academic integrity. That means they do their own work.
咁咧持續咁樣去做以下呢啲事啦，準時交功課啦，盡最大嘅能力去做到完成作業啦，適當嘅時候去問人啦，老師或者同學啦，同埋咧係即係自己有嗰個學業嘅誠實喺度嘅，就自己唔抄人哋功課嘅。
And a B would be frequently. The only difference in the wording is the word consistently or frequently. Frequently means most of the time they do it, sometimes they don't do it, whereas an A would be that consistently and all the time that they're doing their homework and assignments on time and in those descriptors.
咁咧其實 A 同 B 嘅分別咧就只係個頻率啦，你睇到 B 咧就經常咁樣做，但係有時佢都會即係甩咗冇做到嘅。
And a C or a D, the difference again is only in the words, occasionally or rarely, right? Occasionally means sometimes, most of the time they don't do it, but sometimes they do it. And that would be a C.
咁咧 C 咧就係有時做有時唔做啦，即係有偶爾準時啦。
And rarely means very occasionally that you will get a piece of homework from them. Most of the time they don't do it.
咁 D 咧就係即係好少發生嘅呢幾個項目。
Okay? So for you now as parents, you have a lot more information about how they're doing in this particular area. You see, as compared to what you had previously on the old report card.
咁咧同舊嘅成績表嚟對比咧，家長收到呢張成績表嘅時候咧，就會清晰啲究竟個學生嗰個情況係點啦，喺呢一個項目入邊。
So now let's look at this other box in the red, and we're going to take the subject of English and break that down a little bit to sort of get you to see how you will have a lot more information than you did previously.
咁啊睇下咧下一個紅色嘅框框咧就係、英文科啊，究竟下邊大啲個表格入邊咧寫咗啲乜嘢喺度咧？
So previously, what we gave you was there was just one percentage mark for the whole subject of English. So-and-so has got 72 in English. It didn't tell you much more than that.
咁咧以前咧我哋就咁寫咗啦，呢一個學生英文72分呢一段，咁啊冇乜特別其他嘅資訊俾到家長嘅。
But when we were looking at the research was clear. You have to tell them what they know and what are the specific things that they don't know or are not so clear about. If you give them that information, they can improve. If you just tell them, oh, you've done 72, work harder until you get 80 or 90, that doesn't tell a student, what do I work harder at?
咁我哋睇到咧教育研究咧，其實就即係要講清楚究竟你就俾個分咧，其實就係對學生嘅進步咧冇乜用處嘅。你講清楚究竟邊啲地方佢哋係做得好，邊啲知識點佢哋仍然繼續要努力，或者揾一啲方法去進步嘅。
So let's go into it and see it more closely. For English, you will now get information in 3 areas of English.
咁英文咧，我哋有3個項目咧，有關個學科嘅技能嘅。
You will get information on writing,
寫作啦，
on reading,
閱讀啦，
and listening and speaking.
聽同埋講啦。
Okay? And in each of those, every term, you will get the details of what was taught.
每一個學段咧，大家收到成績表嘅時候咧，睇到咧嗰一個知識嗰一個組別，究竟入邊有啲咩特定嘅技巧或者內容咧，我哋學咗嘅學生。
And each of those areas, so writing will get a particular 1 to 5 grade. Reading will get also 1 to 5 grade, and listening and speaking will get a 1 to 5 grade.
每個類別咧，我哋都有一個分嘅，咁係3分啦，寫作4分啦，嗰、個閱讀同埋咧5，然後加粒星星啦，嗰、個聽同埋寫，聽同埋講。
So for this we have a scale of 1 to 5, and we also have something called a 5-star, which you can see here.
咁咧，我哋咧1至5分啦，咁咧仲有一個特別嘅分數嘅5，然後加粒星星嘅。
And I'll explain what a 5-star is as opposed to a 5.
咁咧5分同埋多粒星星有咩分別咧？我哋一陣會講。
The other thing you will notice that accumulation of all of these 3 will be provided. For English, the total grade will be provided also in a 1 to 5 scale up here.
咁咧，我哋每一段咧會有個總分啦。
And then as you fill this up from term 1, term 2, term 3, term 4, you will get a cumulative grade that represents all the terms that have been completed up to that point.
咁之後咧，我哋會有一個咧即係每一個段其實都有啲分數繼續報告落去嘅。咁我哋咧會有一個累積嘅平均分。
So what do we mean by a 1 or a 2 or a 3 or a 4 or a 5?
呢啲1至5分係咩意思咧？個描述係點咧？就後邊啦。
And on the flip side, next to this first rubric, you'll get another rubric that talks about the subject achievement levels.
咁右邊咧就睇到咧學科嗰個成績等級啦。
And here you will see what is a 1, what's a 2, what's a 3, what's a 4, what's a 5, and what's a 5-star.
我哋列明咗1至5同埋5星係咩意思啦
Okay, let's go closer into the 5 and the 4 so we get an idea of what they say.
我哋睇即係放大5同埋4咧係講咩啦
So a student who receives a 5, it says they're proficient, they have achieved full comprehension of learning targets and standards. That means everything that was set and expected for them to learn in that particular area, they have met the targets for that grade level.
咁咧你睇到咧佢學生咧攞到5分咧，嗰個能力度咧其實好熟練㗎啦，去到。
And a competent, which is a 4, would be that they have achieved requisite understanding of concepts and skills, and they demonstrate independence. So they're fairly independent. They're quite good. They're meeting, almost reaching their targets, but they've not quite met all the targets for that grade.
咁你睇到4分咧，其實佢個學生咧基本嘅嘢咧，佢都學識咗嘅。咁咧亦都咧可以顯示到咧，佢唔使人哋幫助都做到呢一啲事情出嚟嘅，但係未去到真係好熟練嘅程度。
And we also wanted to report on the student that goes beyond their grade level. So a 5-star means that they're not just working, they've done everything that they need to for their level, but they've gone beyond it. They're now working in that area at the next grade level, at a higher level than is expected for that grade.
咁咧，我哋睇到咧，咁5再加星星咧，其實就係佢已經熟練晒所有咧，向呢一個班級。或者呢一個年齡咧，佢哋需要做嘅嘢啦，學校要求佢做嘅嘢，而且咧就開始做一啲咧即係更加高等嘅